sent home from school one day with a shiner on my eye. Fighting was against the rules, didn't matter why. When Dad got home, I told that story just like I rehearsed. Then stood there on those trembling knees, waiting for the worst. And he said, let me tell you a secret about a father's love. A secret that my daddy said was just between us. He said, daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen. When I became a father in the spring of '81, it was no doubt that stubborn boy was just like my father's son. And when I thought I'd patience had been tested to the end, I took my daddy's secret and I passed it on to him. And I said, let me tell you a secret about a father's love. A secret that my daddy said was just between us. I said, daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen. Last night I dreamed I died, stood outside those pearly gates. Suddenly I realized there must be some mistake. If they know half the things I've done, they'll never let me in. Then somewhere from the other side, I heard those words again. They said, let me tell you a secret about a father's love. Secret that my daddy said was just between us. You see, daddies don't just love their children every now and then. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen. It's a love without end, amen.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Daddy, whatever you're doing. And happy Juneteenth as well. So welcome to CSL. Thank you, David, for that awesome song. We have a special day planned today for everyone, okay? But the men in the room will get to have a ritual this morning that will be special for them, although it'll be something for everyone. So let's just start our morning by relaxing, getting a deep breath, breathing mindfully into this beautiful day as we bring ourselves into alignment with that divine presence within us. And into alignment with each other here this morning as we speak our mission statement together. We recognize and realize the omnipresence of divine love as the truth of all.
place within my mind, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still and know. I will make a quiet place within my life, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
Let us bring ourselves completely into this present moment, knowing that this present moment is all there is. I recognize the one source of all life, love, and creation. This divine source is all good, creative, wisdom, light, perfect in every way. It is the one presence that permeates and creates all of creation. And now, deep within my innermost being, I attune myself to this God-conscious light that I truly am, knowing that we are all part of this divine light as it lives in and through and around as each of us. For we are connected and united in this light, in joy and peace, wisdom and beauty, and we are all one with it. And I affirm, as we open our hearts, this essence of light flows as us, and we express the fullness of this divine life as our life. For we are the light personified. We are love personified, fully supported by the presence. And our lives unfold with ease, with grace, joy, and love. And we are uplifted, guided, and supported in our choices to live the life that we choose. And knowing this truth of our being as light, as love, we express that to ourselves and to others, for we are blessed and a blessing to others. And the prayer requests that are already in the prayer chest, the secret desires of your heart, are already active in the divine mind. Each is guided and directed to the healing power of the divine in each situation. The fullness of life is in the midst of each request, expressing and unfolding in light, in love, in peace, in harmony, and right outcomes. And each life is blessed in light and love and the fullness of the divine. Today's service is a divine happening. It is the light of the masculine. It is the light of each and every one of us in all aspects of the Creator. I bless all the participants as they create an opportunity for each of us to have an enriched experience of the divine. And we are all blessed to be in the presence and the witness of each other. So I give thanks for this awareness, for this truth of our being as light beings. I give thanks that this light is operating fully in each of us as we are the illumined and the illuminating. So I release this word in confidence and joy, knowing it is already so, as we join together and declare, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul.
Good morning. If you would like a little more mojo, a little more oomph, seeing the light that you are, or shining your light in some of those dark recesses that are causing you some discomfort in your life, please put your concerns in the prayer chest, and the practitioner will do affirmative prayer on your behalf this week. The spiritual freedom we seek cannot be found by grasping it, retreating to, or protecting our perceived safe spaces. Our freedom lies in remaining open continuously, not only to life's changes, but also to the divine light within us and others. It's Peter Santos. And from Ernest Holmes, we are poised in a sense of peace which comes from our complete faith in God as the light, power, and inspiration of our life.
Thank you so much, Lou. Beautiful quotes. All right, so here we are in, what month are we in? June. Okay, the wedding month, right? I should know that. So, our focus for the whole year of 2022 is abundant living. And so we are studying each month a little aspect of abundance in our life, and my notes say May. No wonder I'm confused all the time. So our June focus is abundant light. Okay, and we are going to stay on that focus today, and we're going to talk about you are the light of the world. And I'm going to weave in some masculine energy stuff and a ritual here. Right now, I would just like you to tell 3 people in the room, you are the light of the world. Go ahead, tell 3 people. You are the light of the world. You are the light of the world.
Wow, so are you.
Thank you. All right, don't get out of hand now. Now I want you to tell yourself, I am the light of the world.
I am the light of the world.
Amen.
Amen.
So it is written that Jesus said, you are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So I want to talk a little bit about what does it mean to let your light shine. And let's get a little better understanding of that today. So I have my handy revealing word written by Charles Fillmore, who is a co-founder of Unity. And I'm going to look up light. He says light is the understanding principle in mind. In divine order, it always comes first into consciousness. Light is a symbol of wisdom. When Jesus said, I am the light of the world, he meant that he was the expresser of truth in all its aspects. And I'm just going to read the next one down, inner light, because we're going to talk a little about inner light as well. Inner light is the illumination of spirit, resident in the center of every man's being. Resident in the center of every man's being. That leaves nobody out, man and woman. They haven't gotten like gender neutral in those old books. But I know they're redoing some like that. So that was Charles Fillmore. He says light is the understanding principle in mind. So I'm going to take this message from Jesus up here. Put your light on its stand, and it gives light or understanding to everyone in the house. Put your light or your understanding of God's law, which is oneness. Put that understanding on its stand, in action in your life. Okay, put it into action. And it gives light or understanding to everyone in the house, everyone that you touch, everyone in your consciousness. Okay? Because in a holographic universe of oneness where everything is one, when the vibration of any one part changes, then it changes the whole, right? When you change your energy of thought, it changes me, because at the core level, we are all one energy. To let our light shine means to make our life a testimony to the truth of oneness in God. And we do that by expressing that truth in our life, by making it active. It's active in our mind, and then it becomes active in our life. By welcoming the light or the wisdom and intelligence of God by welcoming that into our thoughts, and allowing our actions to deliver that light or message from the divine out into the world, is how we let our light shine. Okay? You are the light of the world. How will we deliver our light to the world? It must come through us. It must come through you. And Spirit is available right now to guide and support us in bringing our best self and our authentic gifts forward in action. Aligning with that spiritual inner light and delivering it to the world through our actions is what it means to be the light of the world. It's an action. It's an active thing, okay? To shine our light. And the world needs more people shining the light or the understanding of love upon ourselves and each other. Do you agree?
Yes.
We belong to each other. Let us lift each other up in love. Let us see each other as God sees us. So in honoring that Father energy today, I want to focus on just one aspect of this energy. There's lots of aspects of the masculine energy, and this one is kind of a fatherly aspect, and it is the warrior. Okay? So from the book King, Warrior, Magician, Lover by Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette. Anybody familiar with that book? So I took a little bit about warrior energy from that book and to share it with you. Properly tapping into the warrior's energy provides, and they're talking about a man, but it's okay, women, you can take that on too. Okay, properly provides a man with an unsurpassable power source, which will fuel him to reach his goals, fight for worthy causes, achieve greatness, and leave a lasting legacy. The characteristics of the warrior in his fullness amount to a total way of life. So I'd like to just share, these are not all of the characteristics. I pulled out some of them. We don't have time for all of them. Here are some of the characteristics of the warrior energy archetype, okay? Mindful. The mindfulness of the warrior is twofold. First, he is always alert and awake, ever vigilant. Alert, awake, okay? Secondly, the warrior is mindful of the finiteness of life and the inevitability, so big words, of death. He knows that any minute could be his last, so he makes every day and decision count. Carpe diem becomes his battle cry. This is the warrior, okay? A warrior is also decisive. The warrior is able to be so decisive because he trains so thoroughly for these moments. He is prepared. He thinks about all possible contingencies and what he would do in each situation before the crisis arrives. When the crisis does come, his mind and body already instinctively know what to do. Once he makes a decision, he unhesitantly moves on it because he does not live in regret. And the warrior is loyal. So, and this talks about the hero is another archetype, okay? The hero is the boyhood archetype, which matures into the warrior archetype. Part of this maturation process centers on a shift in a man's loyalties. He says the hero's loyalty is really to himself, to impressing himself with himself, and to impressing others. The warrior's loyalties, on the other hand, are to something beyond and other than himself and his own concerns. The warrior has expanded beyond just himself, okay? Something beyond. The warrior is also disciplined. The warrior has mastered himself in body and mind. His power is rooted in self-control. He is the master of his energies, releasing them and pulling them back as he chooses. He decides the attitude he will take in a certain situation instead of letting the situation dictate how he feels. Emotionally detached. Not all the time, he says, but when he is in warrior mode, he is emotionally detached. To complete his mission, the warrior must be emotionally detached from the fear and doubt generated by his own feelings, or from intimidation emanating from his enemy, and from the shoulds and demands put on him by family and friends. The warrior needs the kind of mental clarity that comes from single-minded purpose. Or as the author puts it, the warrior needs room to swing his sword, he says. And the last characteristic I'm talking about is creative destroyer. Isn't that interesting wording? Creative destroyer. The warrior is the archetype of destruction. However, the warrior in his fullness only destroys in order to make room for something new and fresh and more alive. His is an act of creative destruction. He doesn't tear things down simply for the pleasure of doing so. We call upon the warrior archetype when we quit bad habits and replace them with better ones. Or when we get rid, I like that word, and get rid of people, I don't know how you do that, of people in our lives who bring us down and surround ourselves with people who edify. You know what he means. So now let's take this great masculine archetype energy, the warrior, and use it to be the light of the world. So I'm thinking of those two things together, and I'm like, oh, Google, help me out. So I'll just Google what I want to know and see what comes up. So awesome, right? So I really enjoyed this article written by Imre Valian, okay? And it's called How to Become a Warrior of Light. So that's what we're talking about today, a warrior of light, a new energy, a new reality. Does that sound interesting to anybody? Okay, so he says, a new energy is sweeping through the planet, an energy that is not local, not just planetary, but cosmic. No longer will you serve only your own tribe or tradition. Now you have to stand in the light for the whole planet. You now have to identify yourself as a human being, a single atom within the planetary human consciousness. How can we do this? First, start with yourself and change your own imbalance. You have to change your thinking from local to planetary and become a planetary worker, working for the survival and salvation of the entire planet. In other words, this energy is not only for you. It is an energy of oneness for the whole planet. So you should understand how you, your group, and your country fit into this new reality and the greater life of the planet. The world is changing externally. Does anyone notice that? Our minds are being stimulated, resulting in inventions of many gadgets. Our emotions are being stimulated, resulting in much artistic and creative activity. This is allowing huge progress to be made on this planet. But that is not the real issue. The real issue is that the descending light can radically transform us. Remember, the light is spiritual truth or wisdom. It can awaken us into higher consciousness. The material energies are fine in themselves, but they don't change us inwardly. They don't bring about that fundamental transformation of consciousness. If you can keep centered on the eternal, immovable light, then you can benefit from the progress of society and at the same time transform your consciousness. I'm going to say that again. Does anyone not want that? Holy smoke. Benefit from the progress of society and at the same time transform your consciousness. That seems the way forward to me. With all the turbulence on the planet, the only stability is the inner light shining through you, through this planet, and through all creation. You have to think big, on a larger scale than just yourself, because now you have a purpose. Your purpose is to align yourself with that inner light. If you have that light within you, you become an agent for the descending light energies. A light agent. A spiritual warrior in the light, for the light, and by the light. This is not symbolic. It is real. You will emanate that light and uplift the consciousness of everything around you. It is important to maintain this awareness that you now have a responsibility. You are a modern knight. To become real spiritual warriors, first we change ourselves, then we work together as a group, raising the consciousness of the group to a higher frequency, which is really what we do every week here, right? We come together and raise our consciousness for the good of the whole. It is time to remember the fire of your spiritual connection. It is time to know and feel your inner light warrior. That light will bring joy for you and for the world. It is time to rediscover the spark that is at your core. You have learned the lessons of people-pleasing, giving away your own power, and not owning your own core. This is now a different time for you, one where you are being asked to figure out which pieces you need in life to fully own your light. You are all warriors. And of course, you could argue that every human being is a warrior. It is true that to be on the earth and to be of both soul and density in a merge is not easy. You have to be a warrior. But many have forgotten the way. For many, their light goes out because they do not know how to be a warrior and light at the same time. They are either light or warrior, either overly dense in the physicality or overly in the ethers as well. All of us are looking for the balance point between those two things. That's the end of that article. And in my travels on the internet, I also came upon a book by Paulo Coelho, Warrior of the Light. How beautiful. And he had so many good quotes in there. A quote here. A warrior of the light must be prepared to be patient at difficult times, and know that the universe is conspiring in his favor, even if he does not understand how. You gotta come back up there. So at this point, I would like to invite everyone to go with him this morning. We're going to take a little travel, just a little meditation, and I will tell you what's going to happen next as far as the ritual, but maybe Lance, would you do me a favor? Would you bring your light forward and light our candle on the altar? And I'm hoping this works. It does. This one right here. This will symbolize our Christ light. Thank you very much. So I invite everyone just to relax here. Be still, but be alert. Be awake. What do you need to embrace to fully own your light? What do you need to let go of? How will you bring your light to the world? And can I be brave enough to bring my authentic gifts into the world, into action in my life? That light will bring joy for you and for the world. What brings you joy? How will you express that light to others? Remember, you are a modern knight. What is your gift to humanity and the world? What do you love to give? Something so easy and effortless for you. In fact, it probably empowers and inspires you when you give it. I invite you to step into that feeling of joy and empowerment right now. And just allow your consciousness to be filled with the wisdom of your inner light shining forth as an extension of God into the world. I am an instrument through which God expresses its goodness and love to the world. How will I be the light of the world? So in just a moment, I'm going to invite the men to come forward to light a candle symbolizing your gift of light for the world and to place it in the sand here. And at the same time, I invite you to place or stack a prayer stone as a symbol of the warrior's loyalties to something beyond and other than himself and his own concerns. Each stone can symbolize our prayers for the world. I have some markers if you would like to write a word on your stone, a phrase. There's no rules. Something that shows when you put your stone on the table with the others, and it may stack and intertwine, that we have a bigger mission now. First we change ourselves, then we move forward in a group to raise the consciousness together. As the stacks of prayer stones intertwine and overlap with each other, they symbolize a group of people working as a unified field of light. as light warriors. When we work for the greater whole, we cannot help but change society, because this light is an energy field that goes everywhere, spreading outward in waves until eventually it impacts the whole world. Remember, you are the light of the world. It is always through you that God is able to express its abundant light of spiritual wisdom, wholeness, and joy. So I invite the men forward right now. Please give each person ample time at the altar and wait till one is finished before the next start. Anyone may start. We'll have a prayer as we sing that.
Who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all the world. Illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. You who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all the world. Illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. You are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all the world. Illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. Who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all the world. Illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. You are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all the world. Illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. You are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all the world. Illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. You who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all the world. Illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. You are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all the world. Illuminate also my heart, so that it too can do your work, so that it too can do your work. You who are the source of all power, whose rays illuminate all
So to finish this, I would like to just ask, what is one thing, one baby step that you can take to start bringing your gift into action? Just see yourself doing this right now. Allow some excitement to light a fire in your soul. When you emanate that inner light, you uplift the consciousness of everything around you. I am so grateful for this light, for this life, and this energy of love delivered through these light warriors today. And so it is. So let it be. And I invite you, if you choose, after the service, if you would like to take your prayer stone with you or your candle, either one, please feel free to do that. I have a couple quotes here, more quotes from Warrior of the Light by Paulo Coelho. Warriors of light are not perfect. Their beauty lies in accepting this fact and still desiring to grow and to learn. He also says the warrior of the light is a believer. Because he believes in miracles, miracles begin to happen. Because he is sure that his thoughts can change his life begins to change. Because he is certain that he will find love, love appears. Let's all sing.
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every starshine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Okay, and now is our time to consciously participate in the law of circulation, which is our everything. So if you'll kindly, as the ushers come forward, take your gift in your hand and just know with me that as I have graciously received, I graciously give, knowing that I am participating in God in action on this earth, and that this is my joy, this is my light, and it all comes back to me multiplied. And our affirmation, I am united with the abundance of God energy. I feel my worth.
From A Course in Miracles. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. Sing it for yourself. Here we go again. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. Sing it for your neighbor. Look around. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here. Sing it for the center. We are the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why we are here. Sing it for the body. I am the light of the world. That is my only function. That is why I am here.
And as these gifts are received, they are the light of the world in action going forth to the creation of our community and our world and our place in it. And so it is.
Look at this beautiful light of the light warriors that came forward. Okay, so here is the good that we are going to claim together. So just all the way straight down, let's do this together. Today I recognize my inner light. Today I choose to radiate that light out into the world. Today I direct my light to illuminate others. Today is my day to shine, and so it is.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
Give my affirmation to go.
Oh,